Is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Henry Suarez, and I'm one of the technical support managers here at 3D Card, and I'd like to welcome you all to our presentation. For today's webinar, we're going to learn how to efficiently manage your online business with QuickBooks. At the end of the presentation, we'll have time for a question and answer session, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you may have. On the lower right-hand side of your GoToMeeting interface, you should see a question pane where you can write out the questions as they come to you, and at the end we'll read through these and answer as best as possible. If we can't get to your question though, we'll be sure to provide an answer via email after the presentation. Now, presenting for us today we have Manish Jha, the founder of Atandra. Many of you may recognize Atandra as the company that makes T-Hub, which is a very popular QuickBooks integrator for 3D card stores. Now, as I mentioned, Manish is the founder of Atandra, and it's a real privilege to have him present for us today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over the reins to Manish and let him take over for you. Sir, it's all yours.
Great. Thanks, Henry. Thanks for the kind introduction, and thank you all for taking the time. Really appreciate it, and thanks for the opportunity. In today's presentation, we will just see how you can manage your online store if you're using QuickBooks, if you're one of the many 85% plus small, medium scale business. You probably are using QuickBooks to manage your back office and finances. So I'm going to cover some of the basic topics that you should keep in mind when you're integrating your online store with QuickBooks. And by online store, I would refer to your own website, or even if you're selling on multiple channels like Amazon and eBay. So in many situations, if you don't have operations streamlined, once you have many orders coming in from the online channels, you're probably spending a lot of time entering shipping addresses to print labels. You manually update customers or sales information in your QuickBooks to keep your books up to date. You have customers calling in for order status if you are not automated to have all those updated back to the customer and their accounts on the website. The product availability on the website, if you sell goods which cannot be easily replenished, and you don't have accurate inventory on the website, you might get back orders and eventually have unhappy customers, which none of us want. In essence, if your website, shipping, and QuickBooks is not connected in a streamlined fashion, you would probably be doing a lot of manual data entry to have all the systems synced in. In today's presentation, we would look at how do you set up products and accounts in QuickBooks, how do you manage customers in QuickBooks, if you sell on multiple channels such as Amazon, eBay, and your own website, or even multiple websites, how do you do inventory management, what are the different shipping options, and drop ship, if you do drop ship, and how does T-Hub handle some of the above challenges. Go to the next screen. Just a minute. So for products and accounts, the item name in QuickBooks should match the SKU on the website. The QuickBooks, the unique identifier for product is called the item name / number, and on the website it is the SKU. So that has to match. All products in QuickBooks should have an income account to track revenue, and revenue from multiple products can be put under one account. So you may be selling 100 products on the website, but you may want to track inventory against just 3 income accounts, for example. Products in your QuickBooks can be of type inventory, non-inventory, or service type items, depending on whether you want to track physical inventory or not. So you set up the products based on how you want to track inventory in QuickBooks. It's recommended that you set up shipping as a separate item in your QuickBooks, so that way you can track your shipping income, what you charge your customers, separately from your product income. So you should typically have a separate item in QuickBooks called shipping to track that separate from product sales. Product SKU on 3D card, as I mentioned, should match the item name number in QuickBooks. QuickBooks doesn't have a SKU. It just calls it name field. So the name in QuickBooks, as I highlighted here, should match your SKU on the website. Now you may have simple products on the website or product with options. I'll get to that in a couple of slides later. Talking of customers, QuickBooks has a limit on the number of customers it can hold. It depends on whether you're using QuickBooks Pro or Premier. So there's a 14,500 limit on customers you can have in your QuickBooks. Now if you're a B2C retailer, you might quickly reach that limit. So you should save actual customer information in QuickBooks as customers only if you're going to use that customer information from QuickBooks for, let's say, marketing or repeat sales. If most of these customers are one-time customers and you have systems to do marketing outside of QuickBooks, let's say directly from the website, or you use some other email campaign management tools, you don't have a need to have actual customer information in QuickBooks. It would be much better if you just have one customer in QuickBooks called online sales or something like that, and record all the online transactions against that one customer in QuickBooks. So what happens is your customer list doesn't grow, which means your QuickBooks file size wouldn't grow as rapidly, which is always better to keep it fast, and you still have all the sales information in QuickBooks. If you're selling on multiple channels, could be on multiple websites or Amazon, eBay, in today's world, it's not enough to just have your own website. You need to be on multiple channels. I don't need to tell you that. If you're selling on multiple channels, it's better if you define, QuickBooks has a feature called class, and you can define different classes in QuickBooks. So in this example, I have a class called website, Amazon, eBay. So you can assign transactions from one channel into specific classes. Now what that does is it allows you to run your profit and loss reports in QuickBooks by class. So in this report on the top right section of my screen, you see your sales are broken up by website and by Amazon. So it is separated out by class. So this gives you a very clear picture of how you're doing across different channels. So that's a very simple but very useful tool to have enabled in your QuickBooks. By default, the class is not enabled in QuickBooks. You need to enable that in your Edit Preferences section. If you sell products which are not easily replenishable, it is good to have the accurate inventory quantity available on the website. If you use QuickBooks to manage your inventory, so you receive your POs from your vendors, you receive items, you load all that in QuickBooks. So if QuickBooks is having your actual physical inventory count, then it would be good to have the actual physical inventory count updated on the website. If the website has accurate inventory, then on 3D Cart you can have you can set up such that customers are notified of out-of-stock items, or not even show products for sale if they're out of stock. So customers know if they purchase something, they're going to get it. Again, for inventory management, it is essential that the SKUs between QuickBooks and your website matches up. Now, you can have two types of products on your website. You might be selling a simple item like a phone, which has just one style, for example, or you might be selling apparel kind of product that comes in different size and color options. So if you have a simple product, the ID SKU field on 3D Cart must match the item name in QuickBooks. That's pretty straightforward. Now, if you have apparel kind of product that comes in color and size options, on 3D Cart you define those as options. And in the options tab, you have something called advanced options, and that has a code. Now that code needs to match the item name in QuickBooks. So for simple products, you match the ID SKU of the product on 3D Cart to item name in QuickBooks, and for product with options, you match the advanced options code to item name in QuickBooks. For shipping out packages, there are multiple options that you can consider and see what works best for you. You can ship directly from a 3D cart website. It might work if you are shipping one product, one order at a time. You can ship from within QuickBooks. QuickBooks has a simple shipping manager tool you can do from within QuickBooks. You can use an external order manager tool such as T-Hub that we provide, or StoneEdge, or some other product similar to that. But it is essential, or it is important, to have the tracking numbers updated to the website automatically without you having to do any manual work, and of course notify the customers of their shipment tracking. If you drop ship product, if you sell product that are fulfilled by your vendors directly to their customers, in other words drop ship, there are processes that you can put in place to make that more streamlined. QuickBooks has a feature to email purchase orders from within QuickBooks. So if you create purchase orders in QuickBooks, you can have them emailed to your vendors. Now when you define products in your QuickBooks, you set it up to have a preferred vendor, and that vendor will have an email in QuickBooks. So if you create purchase orders in QuickBooks for your vendors, QuickBooks can easily email those to your vendors. So if you're doing any integration between your website and QuickBooks and you have dropship, that is a scenario to consider, that the POs are automatically generated in QuickBooks, and you can easily email them to your vendors. Now this is a simple picture that shows how T-Hub, our product, handles some of the challenges that I just mentioned. So T-Hub is in the middle of your whole e-commerce system. It interfaces with your online website, 3D cart, Amazon or eBay if you're selling on multiple channels. So it brings the sales from different channels into T-Hub. T-Hub then sends out the customers and order information into QuickBooks. It sends out the order information for shipping, for printing of shipping labels, and it gets the tracking number back and updates the tracking back to the online channels, 3D cart, Amazon, eBay, different channels. It also has a simple phone order entry screen, so you can capture phone orders and charge the cart through authorize.net or QuickBooks Merchant Service. For shipping, it works with UPS, FedEx, and for US Postal, it works with Indicia or stamps.com. It can do multiple orders, shipment at a time, so save you valuable time shipping out packages quickly, and automatically update tracking back to customer and the online channels. Especially for Amazon and eBay, you need to update the tracking on the website, and on Amazon you get paid only after the tracking is updated on Amazon. So T-Hub does all that, and it also reads inventory from your QuickBooks to update the website. So if you receive items from your vendors, or if you sell something in your QuickBooks directly, it can read the inventory changes from QuickBooks and update your 3D cart or Amazon for updated quantity. So that finished the overview. Now if I may just show you the product a little bit, and then we will take questions. I don't know if I went too fast, but I'll sure spend a lot of time in question and answer as much as you have. So this is the initial screen for our T-Hub application that shows, that comes up when you open the application. There are simple steps to connect your store to your 3D cart. There is a URL, login, and an encrypted password token that you provide. Once you're connected, on a daily basis, you just go into the process order screen. This is where you process orders from. You do a simple click to download orders from your website. It will bring all the orders from the website, and you can select one or more orders and post to QuickBooks. To do shipping, you select the order, click on UPS for example, and it would generate shipping labels. I'll show you quickly some of the options that we have. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail for each option, just to make you aware that there are different choices. So you can define how you track sales in QuickBooks, like sales receipt or invoice? How do you number transactions in QuickBooks? How do you name customers in QuickBooks if you do want to record customers in QuickBooks, as I mentioned, or you can have one customer in QuickBooks called online sales, for example. You can define how you want to treat items from website which are not yet in QuickBooks. You can let T-Hub create the products in QuickBooks if it's not there, or it can prompt you so you can map the products if the product codes are different on website and QuickBooks. This is where you define how you record shipping income from the website. So you can have a separate item in QuickBooks and you define which item to use for recording shipping charges. If you charge tax on the website, you can define how to record that tax in QuickBooks. You can define tax as one tax name, or you can even define tax by state. So you can assign different tax names in QuickBooks based on the ship to state for the order. There are some other settings like you can define the template, you can define the class that I mentioned, you can assign class for each channel. Once you have all these preferences set up, and here you define which shipping carriers are you going to use, what are the options and preferences for each of those carriers that you enable. Once you have defined those preferences, you don't have to go back on a daily basis. You just come to this screen, order processing screen, and you can select one or more orders and send to QuickBooks. You can send to shipping for posting of for printing of shipping labels, and once the labels are printed, it will automatically send the tracking back to the website. And you don't have to do all this manually. You can also have the T-Hub automator run in the background that can run every few minutes and have all this updated. For inventory update, you can go to the product upload screen. This is the screen that shows you all your products from your QuickBooks and what quantities they have in QuickBooks. And from here you can update the website, or as I mentioned, you can also update from the T-Hub automator that runs as a service in the background on your computer. That kind of wraps all the features that are there in T-Hub and how T-Hub handles some of the challenges for integration between website and QuickBooks. I know we have an hour, but I don't want to take a lot of your time, and I would rather spend more time for questions and answers. So at this point, I would open the forum for any questions you may have.
Okay. Well, just reading a couple of the ones that were asked so far. By far the most common one that we always get is, will this webinar be viewable later? And the answer is yes. We usually record these and we'll have them on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/3dcart, so you'll be able to see it there. From the one question that I personally had, just from the tech support side of things, is how does it actually connect to the 3D cart store? Is there anything you have to download, or is it done through API? If you could expand.
Yeah, it's using. Yeah, sure, absolutely. So it is using the 3D cart API. So it connects through the 3D cart API. So you don't have to download any files on the website. It's directly using the 3D cart APIs.
Excellent, excellent. Here's one question. How can you set up presets for the separate shipping costs? For example, we have a lot of merchants that ship internationally, so there's the different shipping costs for that. Is there a way of setting up those preferences or presets?
You can define default shipping methods based on the shipping method from the website. So, for example, you have a ship method mapping. So, depending on the shipping method from the website, you can say, I don't know, if the website calls it international, you can map it to, let's say, USPS and Express Mail International Flat Rate, for example. So you can define the method you want to use as a default based on the shipping method coming from the website. Excellent.
One question that comes up a lot with QuickBooks integration, any limitations on the type of QuickBooks? For example, we usually run into issues with the QuickBooks Online being an issue. Is that a similar situation?
We do work with QuickBooks Online. So to answer your question, it works with QuickBooks Pro, Premier, Enterprise, the desktop versions, as well as it works with the QuickBooks Point of Sale. The Point of Sale is used mostly by brick and mortar retailers to manage inventory and cash register. So it works with QuickBooks Financial as well as Point of Sale. And it also works with QuickBooks Online. The main limitation with QuickBooks Online is that we cannot update, you cannot manage physical inventory on QuickBooks Online to have that updated on the website. So if you just want to record your revenue, then you can use QuickBooks Online with THub.
Neat. All right. Here's kind of a loaded question. Everybody always asks, how much? Is it a monthly charge? Is it a one-time fee?
It's a licensing plus annual support model. So it's a one-time license. There are 3 different editions of THub. Let me just go to the page. It might be easier.
Sure.
So there are 3 different editions of THub: the Standard, Pro, and Advanced. The Standard brings orders into QuickBooks. The Pro does shipping integration. So these are kind of comparison of Standard, Pro, and Advanced. It's there on the website. So the base license is between $300 and $700 one time, the Standard, Pro, and Advanced. And there's an annual support and update fee, which is optional. The support and update gives you 1 year of support and all the updates for the year. So you don't have to pay for upgrades. So it's all included in the annual support plan.
Okay. And the client itself, is it Windows native, or can Mac users also take advantage of it?
It's a desktop tool. Windows desktop tool. So it is a Windows application.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. I think that about does it for the.
Mac doesn't support integration with.
Gotcha. Well, it looks like that's we answered most of the questions here. I'll go through this list again if we missed anyone. The GoToMeeting software allows us to. Oh wait, here's one. Will THub run on Windows XP? I'm assuming yes on XP.
Yes, it works on XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows Server. So it works on all flavors of Windows.
Excellent, excellent. Would you be able to give just the brief overview of the Atandra again, just in case anybody came in late to our presentation?
Sure. So yeah, at Atandra our main product is THub, or rather the only product is THub. So that's what we focus on. It's designed for online retailers to manage their e-commerce, especially with QuickBooks. That's our focus. We've been working with QuickBooks for over 5 years, and we have thousands of merchants across different shopping carts. We are based in New Jersey. We have offices in India and Pennsylvania. So, yeah, I think that answers that question.
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, thank you for joining us and presenting for us. And like I said, we'll have a recording of this on our YouTube channel, probably within the hour or so. And if there's ever any questions you have for me personally, my email address is henry@3dcart.com. I'll be able to answer whatever I can. And Manish, is there a contact that they can use for more information on THub?
Sure, you can definitely visit our website, atandra.com, atandra.com. You can send an email to info@atandra.com. And the number was also there on the slide, 973-200-8383.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you again so much, and I'll get a recording up as soon as possible. And if there's any questions we missed here, we'll answer them offline. Thanks again.
Sounds great. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.